Greetings, YouTube. I am still reeling from essentially just a really weird day. And I don't mean weird to be something that downplays it, because several of you have a right to be flat out angry, because I was shocked, and I'm still shocked by how many people told me they just flat out never saw the September special objectives in their in-game inbox, including our very own Mama Bear. So you have these people who are commenting, "Oh, these are a bunch of lazy people who don't deserve to do the October event because they didn't complete any of the September events." And you've got people that are like, "I would have been happy to complete them. They just never existed in the game." So, yeah, I'd be real ticked if that was me. I feel like I hit the lottery just having those things show up, and yet they still are trickling in at weird times and not at the same time. And everything's bugged about this, and that's why Kabam should do the right thing and give everybody a 3-star and chalk it up to never doing this again. But we also had some emergency maintenance. And that emergency maintenance threw a bunch of things off, including what we perceive to be within an hour of the last 22-hour event that is recorded at the time of this. Now, I hope by the time this makes it on my YouTube channel that Level Up has eventually gone into the game, but it's been like 9 hours. Within half an hour to maybe an hour, normally the next 22-hour event hits. But that has not been the case since hero use ended. And yes, it normally goes hero use, then level up to arena wins, and arena wins to event quest completion. So the contest is currently down for emergency maintenance, and while the maintenance was happening, the 7-hour solo event discussion was coming. RRNY posted this, showing that mutant combat, which, by the way, that feels off too, because normally it doesn't say that a event is coming until like 15 minutes before it comes in the game. I woke up this morning like, why are they telling us that something's coming in the game? I think Cosmic Combat was the event. Why are they telling us something's coming in the game hours before? That's kind of weird and kind of dumb and felt off. So I know they've switched the Alliance events to now include Grandmaster Crystal Shards, which feels great if it was 2017. But this is just a really bizarre, frustrating, confusing difference. I like to say the famous phrase, if it's not broken, don't fix it. I think everybody has enjoyed the new structure of the 22-hour events, and even though sometimes it's really bizarre that at random these 7-hour events can be the same thing over and over, like that one time we had mutant combat like 4 times in a row. I have no idea how that's determined. It's like they just shake a magic 8-ball and then, whatever comes out, comes out. But next 7-hour solo event, not starting for 3 hours, and now it was like 9 hours. The one that just ended was the same last night as well. Didn't see anyone report this yet. Why do we have to wait 3 hours for the next solo event? I figured it was something to do with maintenance, because maintenance usually starts on Tuesday at 11 p.m. Pacific for 2 hours, which is the exact same time the 7-hour solo event starts, right after maintenance would end. But maintenance isn't tonight. True story. So eventually, when you scroll down, you'll see a very bizarre comment from Kabam, and specifically from Kabam Boo. "We apologize for the confusion, but yes, this is currently correct." And I hate this sentence. It's so passive-aggressive. "Thanks in advance for your understanding." Boo that, Kabam Boo. We ain't understanding this. So this is a really, really, really big deal if Kabam Boo is casually trying to say this is how the new system works. And you might say, "Prof, you're being Mr. Negative again. You're overreacting. You're being too dramatic. It's not a big deal." Let's break it down. TYZ here right underneath says, much to I think it's supposed to say pack. Much to unpack in the wording about this being currently correct. So an unintended change, which hasn't been communicated, which it was not. Why? Because you know it's going to be met unfavorably due to a huge reduction of rewards. So yes, this would be the issue. We're used to covering several 22-hour events a week. And those 22-hour events are awesome. Free units, free revives, health potions. Depending on your progression level, you can get Tier 2 Alpha Catalyst fragments now, Tier 5 Basic Catalyst fragments. They're amazing. I love them. So, for example, in a week, we go from about 24 to 17 7-hour solo events. Therefore, a loss of 7 events in just a week adds up to a chunk of milestone and rank rewards. Not impressed to say the least right now. I usually stick it to the background and don't say much until things really annoy me. But with everything else falling apart at the seams and a lack of communication on many fronts, this might be the straw that broke the camel's back after 6 years of playing. So this is a really serious post. He's basically like, I hang in the shadows. I normally don't complain, but I'm not just complaining about this. I'm thinking about leaving the game if that's what this is all about. I can't understand how this is normal as expected. These solo events have been running the same way for quite a while. To just up and change the timing drastically without any messaging is far from being transparent to the community, which is what Kabam says their goal is to be, and continues the gap in communication with the player base. Well said. That is an example. Both these are examples of professional, respectful comments that are really voicing something that's a big deal, but not doing it in a way that's threatening or disrespectful or profane. You apologize for the confusion and thank us for understanding, but have provided no information as to why this is happening or that it would be so. Of course, there is confusion. And we can't have understanding since you provided no explanation. The only thing we can infer is that you have yet again unintentionally or intentionally changed something with no advance notice or even a notice after the change and can't even be bothered to have the decency to provide an explanation after the fact when you have been caught. So this is like a red-handed type deal. All right, so why is there a constant disagree added to any post that is asking an honest question and raising a concern? I can't understand that. Well, that's been a issue for a while. If this was the new normal, if hero use finished and we just knew that it would be 12 hours before the next event, that's a lot less units, especially for free-to-play players who probably count on this as one of their heavy sources of units. Not only is it less units, it's less revives, it's less potions. Like I said, it's less tier 5 basic Callus fragments, tier 2 alpha, etc. I can only hope that this is an outlier, that Kabam didn't really understand fully what their message implied on the forums, and that the rest of the week we will see a normal return to something that you just don't think would ever be touched. I mean, this has been the same way for so long, and really it's only improved. Like, I love the buff and rewards. It's the best it's ever been, you could argue. And so to go from that to the biggest gap we've seen and to not say, hey, they could have just said, this could be an error because the maintenance, we're looking into it. And there are some people out there who openly cheer maintenance. They openly cheer bugs because if enough problems happen and enough people complain, yes, a compensation package is usually a historic outcome of those issues. But sometimes Kabam just likes to tweak things, like, for instance, mastery descriptions or champion descriptions, or claiming that something's been a bug for years even though we've never heard about it, in order to avoid reverting it and also to kind of, screw over players. Kabam, I want to trust you, but it's events like this and feedback like this that, objectively, it just misses the mark and leaves very loyal players like the one we read who aren't usually even people who comment negative forum posts, not just commenting negatively, but saying, I'm so critical of this issue that I might just leave. I covered everything I want to cover. I want to get it in under 10 minutes. There's no triple ads on this video, so let's end it here. Let me know in the comments what you think of Kabam's response. And as always, have a good day.